Hi everybody, welcome back to Bring Life Indoors. It's Moira here. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Yeah, it's winter this side, so it's very cold. I hope you're keeping warm. I'm having my cup of tea. This morning I thought I will do, or today, yeah, it's in the morning. Today I thought I'll do a video on Hoya Carnosa. Yeah, and while I do that, I'm going to report these cuttings, these leaf cuttings, which I propagated a while ago. I did a video on this a while ago. So yeah, so we can talk about Hoya while we report. So if you remember, a while ago I did a video on this. I'm just gonna try and lift it up for you to see it. Yeah, I did a video on these cuttings, propagating Hoya from leaf cuttings and showing you how it's doing, and and it was my first time actually to propagate Hoya from leaf cuttings. Usually I do it from the stems, and I'm happy to say it was successful. Yeah, it's one thing to be told it's possible. It's another thing to try and do it yourself and you're successful with it. So yeah, I did a whole lot of leaves. As you remember, the last video I showed you, there were some leaves which didn't take root. They actually got rotten, and there were some which were still not yet rooted. The roots didn't yet develop. They were still in good shape, and so I kept it in this container for a while. So I decided this morning it's time to report these. And again, there's about 5 leaf cuttings which didn't make it. Yeah, you know. So it's important. I always advise, if you're going to propagate anything, always make sure that you've got a lot of cuttings. That way, you'll be left with something. You'll be left with something to plant, because not everything is gonna take root. Some cuttings won't make it, but if you've got a lot of cuttings propagating, then you definitely gonna end up with a beautiful pot of whatever it is you're propagating at the end of the day. Even with some cuttings that didn't make it, you still have something substantial to pot. So yeah, let's talk about Hoya. I've got my notes here, so if I look down, please yeah, that I don't forget anything. If you see me look down, just know I'm reading. But other than that, we're gonna be potting away at the same time. I love Hoya. I must be honest, I love Hoya. When I'm done at the end of this video, I'm just gonna take you around my house. I didn't want to bring them here because 2 of them are hanging and one of it is in my room. So I'm just gonna, right at the end of the video, just take you around and show you how they look. I've got about 3 Hoyas, and the rest I'm propagating them in water and in soil. And the one I'm doing today, repotting today, is the one I'm propagating in soil. So I love Hoya. I've always loved Hoya, but then I was not quite sure about it. So I never actually bought one for myself for the longest of time. And then a few years ago, I decided, you know what, I'm going to buy one. Just one, just to see how it will do in my house and how I will do with it, because it was not a plant I was familiar with. I've always seen it on Instagram. I've always seen on YouTube with other YouTubers, and so yeah. Then I must be honest. To this day, that plant is still here. It's still alive. It's doing well. I didn't kill it, so I'm happy to say. Yeah, I've come to learn what I need to know about uh, what I have, the ones I have. I'd love to have more varieties, but with where we are so far, we don't get as many varieties as we see on Instagram and on YouTube and all that. So hopefully they'll start coming in and one can have, other kinds of Hoyas, because at the moment I just have Hoya Carnosa. Alrighty, like I said, these are cuttings. But there was one which there was one which was on a stem, and I didn't take the leaves off the stem, so I just put it together with the cuttings like that, and it has taken root so beautifully. So I'll be putting all that together. So yeah, let's talk about Hoya. I love Hoya Carnosa, I really do, and I'm looking forward to collecting more varieties. But what I've come to know about these plants is that they're very easy to care for. They're not fussy, they're not dramatic, they're very easy to care for. They want to be left alone. They don't want to be overprotected or smothered. They want to be left alone. And if you are looking for something easy to care for, something that you won't have to worry about or stress about, even when you're traveling, Hoya is a plant to get for yourself. Let's talk about the light. They will do well in your low light to your bright light environment. They will do very well. Low to your bright light environment. Though they'll do exceptionally well in a bright lit environment, they can still handle low light and medium light. But you want them to do exceptionally well, especially your variegated ones. You want to see those colors. You want to see that variegation even more. Put it in a bright lit spot. Now that's what I learned with this one. I decided to go fetch it. This is my first Hoya. Yeah, this was my first Hoya. I've had this for like 2 years, and I learned a lot from this one. And I didn't know it's a spotted one. I didn't know that. It was, these spots were not showing when I bought it. It was tiny. It was a small plant when I started off with it, and look how big it has grown. And when I came home with it, I just put it in a low light area for a long time. It grew, but very slowly. And then I decided to move it and put it where it was. It's an in-between medium and bright light kind of a situation. And then I started seeing these spots. And I was like, wow, okay. So this must be variegated somehow. And then I decided to move it to a bright lit area not long ago, recently, because then I didn't know it was a spotted one. So I'm very excited. Hopefully, and I'm beginning to see more leaves now. I'm beginning to see more leaves with spots now, and I'm hoping that as it grows, those spots will come out even more because of the lighting I'm giving it compared to where it was. So I've learned a lot with this one. Honestly, I've learned a lot with this one. So yeah, it has grown a lot. It has filled up the pot. Well, this is the second pot I've put it in. Yeah, it was in a smaller pot than this one, and a year ago I decided to transplant it. So it has grown a lot. It has. So I've learned a lot with this Hoya. So they will do well in your low light and medium light, but you want them to do exceptionally well, put them in a bright lit spot. But don't expose them to a direct sun. They don't like that. And don't put them in a dark corner where they don't get light. They won't do very well there. So yeah, that's the lighting conditions they require. And when it comes to watering, less is more when it comes to Hoyas. And that's why I consider them easy to care for plants, because less is more. They're more like your succulent kind of plants, because I think because of their thick leaves, thick waxy leaves, maybe. Yeah, I think so. They I let mine go completely bone dry before I water them. I let them go completely bone dry, and then after that I give them a thorough drink. I I wash the leaves, and then I soak them. I make sure that they've had a good drink, and then I leave them alone again, and make sure that in between watering they dry out. So they appreciate that a lot. They don't like to sit in soggy soil. They don't like to be overwatered like any other plant. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with root rot. So, to make sure that you don't ever have to deal with root rot, let them go bone dry in between. So yeah, that's your lighting and your water requirements. But other than that, the general care tips for Hoyas, the first mistake I made when I bought my Hoya, this one, they get, what do you call it, tendrils, like these. It's very short. Here's another one here. It's coming out. They get that. Now, I had few of those, and they were long. I had no clue what it was. So the minute I got home, I took my scissors and I chopped those off because I didn't understand what they were. And I didn't know what they were. I chopped them, until one day, with me, when I bring a plant I'm not familiar with home, I sit and I make research and I watch videos and videos and videos on it. And then one person then said, I don't know, I think it was from Plantarina, yeah. There she goes. She says, don't cut these things. That's where the new leaves are going to grow. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's the first thing I chopped when I got home because I didn't think it looked cute. I didn't like the look. And little did I know is where the new leaves are going to grow from. So that don't make, and I'm sure by this time this plant would have been trailing, having, yeah, but I chopped those off. I think there were like three or four, I chopped them off. But anyway, I didn't know, but now I know. So if you are like me, you are new to Hoyas and you're wondering what are those things, without anything, bare looking sticks growing out of your Hoya, those are tendrils. And believe me, that's where the new leaves are going to grow. And you don't want to cut those. You don't want to cut those. You want to leave them alone. You want to leave them alone. And they're going to look so beautiful trailing down. I'll show you with my other two Hoyas. So that's one mistake I made with my Hoya. So, yeah. And the other thing is you can propagate these from the stem. And you can just take it like that, chop it and put it into soil. It will take root. Or you can propagate them from a leaf. You cut your leaf, literally. You cut your leaf. I'm going to show you with a leaf that still has. You cut your leaf like that, just leave a little bit of a stem there. And then you stick that into soil and it will take root. Or you can just take your stem like that and you remove the leaf and you put that into water. It will take root. It will develop roots. Yeah, I'll bring forth. Let me just get you the ones I have propagating in water. Alrighty, so like I said, you can also do it in water. Here is my variegated one. It's sitting in water. Look at those roots. So you can propagate it in water. And here they are. See, you can propagate them in water. Look at those roots. How beautiful is that? So yeah, you can do it in water or in soil. Both works just fine. And with your cuttings or with the stem. So yeah, let's do this while we pot this away. So they're very easy to propagate. And one thing about Hoyas is they don't mind being pot bound. So don't rush to repotting your Hoya. They don't mind being pot bound. So like I said, I'm not gonna propagate. I'm not gonna transplant this anytime soon. Even the ones I have hanging, they don't mind being pot bound. You can actually let them be in that same pot for a while, for a while, until you see that there's no longer soil. Then you can go ahead and transplant it. They don't mind. They don't mind at all. And the other thing is the the best thing you can do for your Hoyas is to make sure that the pot you're planting them in have drainage holes. That's the best thing you can do for them, because they don't like to sit in water. So yeah, make sure that they've got drainage holes. And the other thing I forgot to mention is fertilizer. I fertilize my Hoyas every second week, every second week. So I fertilize them in their growing season, your summer and spring. So yeah, so let's do this. I don't know, that's about it. I don't know if I'm forgetting anything, but they're very easy to care for. They're not fussy at all. So I did all the talking and I didn't report these while I was talking. I wanted to do that while I was talking. Funny, hey? So yeah, I'm gonna tilt my camera a bit that you can see what I'm doing. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to us having more varieties in our garden shops, because I really want to collect more other varieties, other kinds of Hoyas. So I'm just gonna put these up, and then I'll take you to I'll show you the hanging ones, how they're doing. They're very lovely. They're doing very well. They're doing very well. So yeah, I needed to bring a garden scissor. I'm just gonna cut these because they're definitely not gonna fit. There. So I'm gonna cut it like that, and then I'm gonna put it like that. Like I said, this is going to my kids' room, so I'm so excited. I am so excited to give them this. Okay. Does your kids love plants? Mine love plants. My kids love plants. And I recently bought them again, English ivy, after we killed the first ones. I bought them, decided to buy them again, that we try it again. So yeah, I've got two leaves here which are non-variegated. I'm gonna mix it up, because this leaf and this leaf is non-variegated, and this leaf, they are non-variegated, and the rest are variegated. So they're gonna have variegated and non-variegated in one pot. It's okay, why not play around, right? Okay, there we go. Or maybe I shouldn't mix them up. I don't know. Okay. This thing keeps closing. Okay, one done. Okay, and one more to go. I think I'm gonna keep the non-variegated one separately, I decided. I'm done. I've given them each 3 cuttings in a pot. So yeah, and I'll keep you updated as to how these are doing. The beautiful thing about their rooms is that they get morning sun. So these plants are gonna love it there. And hopefully soon we'll be talking we'll be looking at more than 3 leaves, but it's been fun. That's all I had for us for today. I thought I will just take you through the care tips for Hoya. Like I said, I find it very easy. It's definitely a very easy to care for house plant, and a beautiful one for that matter. Absolutely beautiful. And go get yourself one. Go get yourself a Hoya Carnosa. And so yeah, like I said, I'll keep you updated as to how these are doing. I'm just gonna walk you um, to my family room and show you the 2 Hoyas I said they're hanging on the wall, which I didn't bring forth. But other than that, it's been fun. Have yourself a beautiful day. So here they are, my 2 Hoyas, Hoya Carnosa, the variegated one, which is this one. Look at that. They are doing exceptionally well. They get bright light throughout the day. And here is the non-variegated one. And these are the tendrils I was talking about. This is what I cut off with my first Hoya. And I learned my lesson.